Hey, 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 this is Pendulum TV. Press on the red button to subscribe, hit on the bell icon to get notifications, like, comment, and share this video. Thank you.
Peace and from a very responsible and respectful point, I'd rather not necessarily explain or express, because that will only drag the entire thing. Rather do the needful this morning on the same platform, which I suppose gave a statement that they're not happy about. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, Tracy.
Yes, one thing I want to put out is that I have no intention whatsoever to defame anybody. From my records, I've been very consistent in honoring some of these legends. And I mean, from Jay Adolfo to Ebo Taylor recently, I wish I got the same clout for it when I did these events. However, it's just happened that it has to be so. And I want to take this opportunity to render an apology that whatever I said that didn't go well with the man himself, not only because he's a musician, but also because he's a predecessor and he's a legend at it. That's number one. Number two, he's a chief. So he's a father of the soil, and he must be respected. I take back my words. If he wasn't so happy with it, I meant no evil. I had no evil intentions. I had no intention of defaming him or destroying his image or hard work. There's a clear issue of an irresponsible statement or a loose thoughts that came out. And I take back my words, and I'm not proud to render an apology, which is why this morning I'd want to, instead of getting into what happened and all of that, I'd want to say that I'm really, really sorry, and that statement was irresponsible. I take responsibility for it, and I hope that they will take it in good faith.
I see. So after putting out this apology, should we assume that you admit to it that whatever you said the other day were lies, or they were not factual?
I would say they were not factual. For the sake of peace, I'd want to say that. I'd want to make that statement, that so that because media has a role to play as well. So in order to let it lie, I'd rather state that these statements were not factual, and I take full responsibility for it.
Oh, okay. Are there lessons learned from this, knowing that you said something that you would come back to render an apology, an unqualified apology to it, and again add that you were not factual with it? Have you learned a lesson? Because I'm scared that moving forward, whatever man like Trigmatic will be saying, people will say, oh, Adechi Babeka said it was not factual.
Oh, I have a record, Basami. I am not. This is the first, and it's for so many reasons why one has to. It's very important because I would one day become like Amache, and which is one of the main reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. It has nothing to do with whether people are going to believe or not. And the right thing must be done, and which is what I've done. Professionally, these things are done, and so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I could have said maybe a PR person of mine should do it, but I wanted it to come from me personally. So that's, the lessons learned is, will probably be to stick to a topic when I have to, or probably not render an interview when I do not have the necessary inputs.
Oh, I see. But so if it hadn't been the fact that they are not happy, you wouldn't have taken this stance, your current stance, I guess.
Oh no, what it is that it's important that you take into consideration a person's reaction or feeling about any statement you make, whether you have facts or not. It's important that you take it into consideration. So for me, I think that it's very, very important.
Should we blame Arnold Mensah Levanyo too? For putting in a corner that you were not ready to be there?
No. He's a journalist. He's doing his job. It was my responsibility to also manage my thoughts and my words. So me and him, Charlie, was still G's. So for him, what did he do? He was doing his job. I've been in that seat before.
Yeah.
So I know what the job takes and all of that. But I mean, one thing I want to say is that, which I said, I wished, but that all those times, I mean, when you did the honor, which I know your show did, the J. Adolfo one.
Sure.
I wish that, the same bloggers or the same person that put the story out would have written about the Ebo Taylor honoring, and the fact that we brought him from Saltpond, and anytime we have honored any of these people, other people had, it brought some of the enlightenment for other people. I remember after J. Adolfo, Play Music honored J. Adolfo as well. And currently, when we did the Ebo Taylor one, I think he's been nominated for Access and a few other awards as well. So we're doing a good thing. We wish that would be put to light as well as when we do something that's is irresponsible. That as much as it's said, the good things must be said as well.
I see. Hello, Craig is here. I'm sure out of your questions, the man finds himself at the wrong corner of Amachi Dede's house. I don't know what you would add to him before he leaves.
I mean, he's done the honorable thing by coming out to apologize. I mean, Amachi Dede is a chief, and beyond that, he's also a legend. So if he feels
chiefs don't do wrong, chiefs don't go wrong.
Oh, no, it's not about chiefs don't go wrong. Amachi Dede hasn't gone wrong.
Okay.
He's only expressed how he feels about something that Tregmatic has said. Whether or not there's nothing like he being wrong or right here.
Okay.
So let's
no, because of your your preamble that he's a chief.
No, chiefs go wrong, but even that there's a way you go about it. You don't just because it's gone wrong, you don't just come out saying things that you're not supposed to say or dealing with it the way you're not supposed to deal with. So I think Trig has done the honorable thing by being a gentleman and coming out publicly on the same platform that he said it to render an unqualified apology to them. Any settles the matter. He puts it to rest.
Okay. Now, Craig, is there another thing you would want us to know before you say goodbye to us?
Yeah, well, I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the man. And I appreciate every work he's done. And also, I've had an education after that. I spoke to a few members of his team, so I know what the story is. But aside that, I have an album out. Is the 8th Element is out on all streaming stores, so people can go get it and buy it as well. Currently, one of the songs is I think it's about number 13 or so on Apple Music, so it will be good for it to get more streams so we can come up. But go and check it out. The video with Rihanna is coming out soon, and all other works that's on the album, we have videos coming out, so look out for that. Next month I should be in South Africa for something, but I'm sure the announcement will come out soon. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed and wish well.
Nice one.
Thank you so much, Xylophone.
Anytime, bro. This is your home. All right. Thanks for talking to us, Tregmatic there. And I believe you come back to pick some one or two opinions on this. Amachi Dede seems to be in the news for some wrong reasons lately. First was at the just ended Ghana Music Awards, where he wrongfully put the crown on the head of Kwame Eugene. And today he's also in the news for chasing musician for saying he doesn't write his own songs. But then in the conversation, Craig mentioned what's his name, the guitarist Akableri
Papaka.
That Papaka has also said Amachi does not write his songs. Can we get to Papaka to find out this from him?
Sure.
And should someone's opinion be an issue for management to be chasing him?
Okay, I think someone.
I'm asking this. I'm asking this because of the position Kwesi Abuaji finds himself as also a presenter, a broadcaster. There are occasions some people have made statements or they've put out opinions that are not factual. Should we be chasing him?
Them.
Should we be chasing him and them?
Chief.
Let me try to address this issue.
Yeah, Chief.
Ordinarily, it shouldn't be. But you see, our industry and our terrain doesn't understand the various segments in the music fraternity. If this were in abroad, it would not be a big deal that Amachi Dede doesn't write his songs.
Are you sure?
Yes, because in abroad, there are songwriters and singers. So some of the biggest,
they wouldn't mind. They are sometimes petty on some issues.
No, I'm just saying that some of the
like
in abroad,
Snoop is not a good songwriter. I think they will keep quiet.
In abroad, these things are no big deal because it is public knowledge. Because when a song is out, everybody who played any role in the development of the song is properly listed and acknowledged. Babyface, I know, is one of the greatest songwriters abroad. Quincy Jones, who is a producer, and so on and so forth. So all of this, anybody who played any role in the build-up of the song is acknowledged. And so it would not be a hidden agenda if anybody mentioned it in anywhere that so and so is not a good songwriter or is not a songwriter but a singer, because they understand all of these dichotomies. But here we have a certain mindset that every singer must necessarily be a songwriter. So when someone says then it means they have removed a feather in your cap. It's a point of shame that you don't write your song. That to me is seeing what the mindset is. And because everybody thinks that if you are a singer, or if you put out this record, you must of necessity be the same person who wrote the song, then you are deemed to be good. And I want to believe that our big brother Amachi Dede is of the same mindset. Look, it is nothing if you are not the one who writes your songs. If someone wrote a song for me, I believe can put me there, I'll sing it. So for me, it is really not a big deal that should inspire this conversation, that should make someone angry and make it seem you are denigrating my career, of the period and the time I've practiced my profession. You can't just come and say today that I do not write my song. But the question is it true? Okay. Has anyone written a song for him before?
We are trying to go behind the scenes to do that discussion. So
to conclude,
let's get
if anybody has ever written a song for Amachi Dede, it doesn't take anything away from him. Amachi Dede is a legend and will be a legend forever. Whether someone wrote all his albums and all his songs for him or not, he's reaching his place. He has his pride of place in our industry, and for me, it doesn't take anything away from him at all. He should sleep and sleep well. His respect in my eyes, and I'm sure in the eyes of everybody, has not reduced. He wears his badge of honor and would salute him anywhere we see him.
Thank you so much, Chief Charles. And Arnold, you want to add a bit to it?
Yes, yes. Chief made a very important point that I just need to add a bit to. He said outside, the people might not really have a big problem with it. But when the issue it's not true, they will have an issue with it. So if you say, I do not write my song, when I actually write my song, out there, they will have a big issue with it. So the thing here is to find out whether or not he writes his songs. Then the conversation can expand. But until then, whichever way you find it or wherever you find yourself, it's an issue. If truly he writes a song and Trick makes it seem he doesn't write it, that's a big issue. That he can have he could have a problem because facts are being twisted here. But if the fact is that I truly do not write my song, and you also air that in your opinion, the truth is I don't write it. So if you say it, why should I have a problem with it? But in this case, he feels he writes every single song of his. So if you come out there publicly to say and make it seem as though he's never written a song, mind you, that's job, that's work he's put into his albums, that's work he's put into his career, and that's a whole profession for someone to live on and make money off it. So if you're coming to take me out of that aspect of my career and say I never wrote any of my songs or I do not write my songs, which I feel is a very integral part of my career, I should be very angry with that. This is not to say, or that is not to say what Trick said is a lie or is truth. He coming out to apologize is just to let things rest. But we can take it a step further by finding out really if Amachi writes his songs or not. And if we go further to do that, Trick will be out of the picture now because he has apologized and he has said, yes, the truth will be established.
The truth or the fakeness in the story will be
established, and Trick will still be safe wherever he finds himself. He said it, you said he said something wrong, he's come out to apologize, he's off the scene. Then you have decided to take it a step further by finding out whether or not what Trick said is true. whatever comes out of it, whether Amachi writes his songs or he doesn't, the truth will be established. And that is what we're all looking to have. And that's why Amachi today is coming out to chase Trickmatic and
for the facts.
For the facts that do not trace the facts. I write my own songs. Don't make it seem I do not write my own songs. And this will be a problem everywhere in the world.
I get you. Benke, are you adding something to it? Yes.
I haven't read anything from the management of Amachi Dede clearly stating that Amachi Dede writes.
Well, they spoke to us.
They spoke to them and they said Amachi Dede
They called me and I referred them to Arnold and Mr. Massive because they handled the story.
So they stated that Amachi Dede writes his own song.
Now that they want some corrections to be done, then what it means is that Amachi Dede writes his own songs. And that information is not factual.
Okay, so what I'm saying that until they make that correction, let me put it this way, that right now as it stands.
How do you want them to make the correction?
Because like per what you're saying right now, we are just figuring out per the conversation that perhaps Amachi Dede writes his own song. That's why they are not comfortable with it.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that I am looking at they coming out openly to say yes
for the records.
For the record's sake, that Amachi Dede writes his own song, and that is why we are mad. Then we can.
That is something they decide to do.
Fine.
Now that they've caused Trick to apologize.
Yes.
That is the reverse of what he
I'm
said.
saying that how the Trick has done the honorable thing. But I think there's something we need to look at, because he made in the statement, he stated clearly that having heard from two other people that
who are also active members.
Yes, I mean, come to think of Akablaze, I said no, he's worked with them all this year. So if a source like that is saying that, Trick made it clear that per the two people that he said from, he can say that there's some consistency there. But to let peace reign, it's appropriate that he apologizes for what he said, but not that what he said and the fact that he wasn't factual about it, because he had. And he felt that in the hearing there was some consistency that proves that.
Why do I feel that because Amachi Dede and his team, they are not happy? Most of the people who contributed to that statement now, they are running away from it. I am getting information that Akablaze, and he hasn't said anything to anybody before. I'm getting information that is what what's Akablaze is saying, and according to Akablaze, he's also received calls from Amachi Dede. Last night he received a call from Amachi Dede, and this morning too. So he is even running away from making a commentary.
I think we have to name a certain type of call, the Amachi Dede call.
So Sammy Landing, what I want to say is that once the gentleman that made the statement has
apologized
to apologize, though we can decide to go into it a bit to clarify things the more. Was chairman.
No, those who are supposed to give us the clarity are also running away.
Yeah, they are also running away. Then let's.
Akablaze says,
so then let's go with the apologies and let the whole matter go.
Hey. Africa, mama country. Africa, the opening. Africa, the opening. I will be.
I have to say, Wafa Zungo now, Kasa Zungo Hinata. We find Yakutukus.